So hopefully. Hi everyone, PSI Arizona here with Tandie Miles, a certified perinatal mental health therapist. Tandie is an integrative behavioral health supervisor and also has her own private practice. She's been practicing for 18 years and has become a certified perinatal mental health therapist in the last year. She is a recipient of the scholarship for the exam fee. And thank you so much, Tandie, for joining us today. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, let's get started. Did you personally experience a PMAD, and why did you choose to become certified to support perinatal mental health in families?
So yes, I did. So I'm a single mom, and when I had my son, I experienced postpartum anxiety and depression. And I did all the things that I learned later that I shouldn't have done after having a baby. So I moved, um, started a new job, moved away from a lot of my friends and support system, and was kind of like really secluded. And so I basically, one of my friends was talking to me on the phone, and she's like, Tandie, you sound like you might be depressed. Can I do the Edinburgh with you? And I said, okay. And so she did the Edinburgh with me, and my score was high. And she's like, you should probably really go talk to your doctor about how you're feeling and how you're doing. And so I credit her to like basically helping me and like putting a mirror to my face. Um, and then from there, I just really went and talked to my doctor. My doctor was very understanding, and she started me on medication and suggested that I do some therapy. And so that's what I did. And it was helpful. And then from there, I just said, I don't want anyone else to experience feeling alone in that process of going through motherhood. And so if there's anything that I can do to help, that would be great. And so I decided to take the training through PSI. And when I was there and I was hearing everything, I was like, oh my gosh, that was so me. Nobody told me. And so it was very eye-opening, just to hear all the information that they were providing at the training. And that led me to wanting to pursue that for my own career.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. What are the benefits you would say that to the certification and that you've been able to take into your practice?
I would say the most of all the benefits is when the training is very detailed. I feel like it's very detailed. It explains a lot about the different perinatal mood and anxiety disorders that can happen. A lot of us just hear and think about postpartum psychosis, or when a mom has gone to jail or arrested for injuring or killing her kids. We hear a lot about that, but we don't hear about all the other little things. And so I was able to get a lot of education, and just really knowing like what is going to be in front of me with the knowledge that I had. So like if I heard a mom say a certain, phrase of like, this is just too hard for me, I feel like I'm not enough, I'm not going to be like super alarmed, because this is something that a mom who might have postpartum depression or anxiety would say. So I think it just provided the education that I needed to then know how to work with someone who is in front of me that is having a postpartum depression or anxiety disorder. Also too, I'm able to train my other colleagues that I work with about what it is that's happening for moms right now, especially with COVID happening. And a lot of moms were reporting feeling isolated. And so the training allowed me to share that education with them. And then I've been able to, since getting the training and advertising that, like my private practice, all I received was a lot of moms who were having postpartum depression, anxiety. And I also received a lot of referrals from mothers who are African American to do counseling for postpartum depression and anxiety. And so that was really cool to see, because that's something that in the Black community, we don't talk about depression and anxiety. And so I think me being an African American and have that training, I think that allowed them to feel comfortable to seek out help. And then us sharing that same culture made them feel comfortable. And so that was really cool to see and have as well. And then sometimes I get calls from Tucson or Phoenix that people have looked on the PSI website and saw that I'm certified, and they will ask if I can provide therapy or counseling to them as well. So it's been really, really helpful. And even just thinking of like doing my own like developmental or some programs, developing some programs at my job now that allows us to really focus on mother well-being when they come in for their children's doctor's appointments.
That's amazing. I love the connection of like, you're already here. How can we support you?
Yeah, because when they come in, most of the time, as mama bears, we're really good about taking care of our kids, but we always put ourselves to the back burner. And so I'm working with another nurse practitioner who is also in the process of getting certified after being in her ear.
Thank you.
She's going to take her exam, and we're going to work on a program of seeing both mom and baby at the same time when they come in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that sounds really amazing. Just to, you see your provider when you're pregnant for, weekly at a certain point, and then you see them one time after baby, and then the transition goes to seeing the pediatrician.
Yeah.
Weekly, monthly.
Yeah.
But then we forget about the person who carried the baby.
Right.
On hold and to be having those conversations. That's a really incredible program.
Yeah, and our pediatric office that I work at, we screen moms for postpartum depression with the Edinburgh. And so whenever an Edinburgh is 9 and over, I usually am called to go in and provide a brief intervention in the integrated model. So that's pretty cool to do. And then I'm able to really give moms some support, some hope, and give them some resources.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to someone who is considering becoming certified?
I feel like if you are working with children and families, it's really important for you to know about perinatal mood and anxiety disorders. It's something that's not talked about a lot in programs. I don't remember talking about it that much when I was in my education. But I think that it does impact the family, and it does impact children. So we know that some behaviors and some different things that we see in children are associated with how parents are functioning. And so if you have a mother or a father who is experiencing some postpartum depression and anxiety, that their interactions with their kids are going to be a little bit different. And that can influence the child. So I say that if you're working with children and families, if you're working with women, if you're working with men and they've had kids, it's going to be really beneficial to take the training. And then getting certified just shows that you have dedicated yourself to being trained in a special field. And that lets people know that, hey, like this person knows what they're talking about and they know what they're looking at. And so it's a little bit more of a trust thing when working with families. So I'm all for everybody doing it.
Is there anything else that we haven't asked that you'd like to share?
No, I think that Arizona is really, really, really trying to make changes and making sure that moms are doing well based off of the new information and research that we're getting about PMADs. And so I would say take the opportunity to go to the training. There's going to be one in Tucson, there's going to be one in Phoenix. So I would say take the training and then, apply for Arizona's scholarship to get certified. the more people we have trained in this specialized field, the better we will be able to serve our community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time this morning, Tandie. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to connect with you.
Thank you. I am too.